And in fact, we keep in touch as friends beyond our talks. So see you next time with more elaboration from his side and from my side, pro-Sharia and Sharia phobics next time. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Assalamu alaikum. We are entering the second part and final part of our discussion on Sharia. Actually, the discussion will rotate around the Canadian Sharia Code. We have already quoted some major Sharia laws from most authentic Sharia books of the world, including Shafi law, Hanafi law, and Shiite law even. We can go on and on to show how unjust and cruel these laws are, and how much they are against Quranic spirit and Islamic spirit of justice. We can quote unlimited actually. Suppose these laws say that only the sons, not the daughters of a killed person, can claim the blood money from the killer. Also it says that for theft, relatives will not be put to had. That's a condition, and a state head will not be put to had for theft. There are so many others. Now, coming back to Canadian Sharia Code, we have quite a few ethical and Islamic theological flaws in here. Let me start with their claim that they want to communicate with us. First of all, they did not invite Canadian Muslims to discuss on this. They say, we invite both Muslims and non-Muslims to communicate their concerns to us, which we did. I have shown the printout of our emails to them, but there was never a positive development. Then it says in page 19 and 15, page 9 and 15 rather, that if a Muslim chooses to go to Canadian court instead of the Sharia court, if you choose the latter, then you cannot claim that you believe in Islam as a religion and a complete code of life actualized by the Prophet. And then in page 15 it says, then in that case we are apostates. Now here the Sharia code is not talking about Irshad Manji. It's talking about me and my wife, who is a member of the mosque, a hijabi lady with a culture of halal meat at home and ex-teacher of Islamic school. We must be able to choose. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. That was violated. Then, for arbitration or mediation of solving family problems, the Quran categorically says, do not take money for Islamic services. Do not take money in exchange of my ayats. But there is a fees involved. I believe it is 450 from each of husband and wife. And then if we come to Quran for resolving family disputes, in Surah Nisa verse 35 it says, put one from his family, put one from her family. But here we see lawyers are involved. Probably many people say that because there is money engaged in it. If they really, there was never a Sharia court in Islamic history which charged the people. So even it uses the word like apostasy, the very strong Islamic words like apostasy, shirk, if somebody disagrees with their version of Islam, which we really reject. The main point is, Sharia is not a benign law book. It is a malignant inspiration to political Islamists for the establishment of Sharia-based Islamic states globally. As political Islam's, you may correct me if I am wrong, political Islam's theological, modern guru, Maulana Maududi, says in his book, Jihad in Islam, page 6, that Islam wishes to destroy all non-Islamic all other governments from the face of the planet which are opposed to its ideology. Then again in page 23 or 24 it says that Islamic State will extend its invitation to others, but if Islamic State has adequate resources, it will destroy and eliminate all other non-Muslim governments from the face of the planet. This is the real spirit of Sharia. It inspires or instigates political Muslims in that direction, keeps them restless and struggling to enter systems of human civilization in any shape possible. Now, how Islam was explained in political terms to instigate violence, I will show you one example from the preface of Sahih Bukhari of Medina University, translated by Dr. Mohsin Khan. It says, so at first the fighting was forbidden, then it was permitted, and after that it was made obligatory against those who start the fighting against you, Muslims, and against those who worship others along with Allah. Now this information is seconded or supported by Dr. Hashim Kamali's principle of Islamic jurisprudence, and also by Dr. Abdulaziz Sachedina in his book, The Islamic Roots of Democratic Pluralism, which we really strive to get. With so many religions around, secularism is not a choice anymore. It is mandatory. Peaceful coexistence with the hidayat from the Quran is our way to go. Let me tell you some real applications of Sharia in the past and present. In Khilafat time, if somebody says that Sharia was able to create peace and justice in society, I invite that person to read this book, Women, the Family and Divorce Laws in Islamic History by Amira Al-Azhari Sambat. This cites court cases with names and dates of the past, and you can clearly see that women were devastated by these court rulings. Even recently we have seen a video of Iranian Sharia court. It is totally against women. In present time, there are scores of examples. Sharia parliaments, wherever they were elected as majority, they enacted laws banning women to attend male ECG and ultrasound technician in NWF Pakistan, without caring the fact that there is no female ultrasound technician in the whole province, and there is only one female ECG technician in the province. Recently, they passed another law. Afghanistan also passed another law barring women from appearing in the television. And in India, they made a decree in a particular area that women will not be allowed to see television except Discovery and sport channels. And they made a team of volunteers to go door to door to ensure the compliance of this verdict. Now we can say that these are misapplications of Sharia, but I say that what type of car is it that whoever drives makes an accident? Something is wrong with the car. Plus something is wrong with the Sharia people as well, who are not able to guide us with the guidance of the Quran. Rather, they have reduced Islam to fiqh and jurisprudence. It's not Quran anymore. It is how much a Muslim complies to Sharia laws, which are only human effort to understand divinity. As Dr. Sachedina beautifully says, no human institution can claim to understand and apply God's will on this planet except the prophets. Now what the prophet did, common man cannot take that load anymore. It needs a poetic approach to the Quran, because Islam is a beautiful poem. Without a poetic mind, it only reduces to the literalism of the verses and words and sentences which created a devastation in Islamic society. So within Islamic society there are orthodox organizations with their explanations, and there are progressive Muslims with their explanations. This, as Qazi Farzana says, that Muslim world stayed stalemate between these two forces, internal forces. I am concluding here with a message that we have to discuss and discuss and discuss, but not fight, to resolve this issue as soon as possible. Brother Mubin.
Yes, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The brother has made some very good points, and in our previous discussions, informal discussions, which we hope we can get on a DVD somehow, we've discussed a number of these issues. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to address as much as I can, and hopefully we'll be able to move with that. I believe Sharia is really the most just system because it is from Allah. And that which is not just, which is unjust, cannot be from Allah. To the point on dialogue with the Islamic Institute of Civil Justice, I don't know what happened with them. I don't speak for them, but I mean, it's important that we are here, we are having our discussions, and we've had our dialogues by email and by phone, and I hope that continues. I do share the belief that, of course, Islam is a way of life. Islam has been a way of life for centuries, for many people, and that will never change. And I'm kind of responding in point form because I don't really want to make this, I'm here to argue and my point, and because this is a dialogue, it's a discussion. I have here Islamic ADR. Islamic ADR should be free. Brother made a good point. I don't know if they're charging and what they're doing. They've stated that they have, it's not for free.
Yeah, it is here.
We are absolutely against any kind of charges. Totally. It should be free, it has to be free. This is the way of Islam. I don't want to get too much into Islamists and political Islam. I'm not interested, I don't really appraise the use of the terms fairly, or not fairly, but in depth, because I think it's a misnomer, really. There is no separation, in my opinion, between Islam and politics or the political systems. This is all part and parcel, because Islam is a way of life. So naturally it will include politics, law, all the things that encompass a way of life. So questions on what instigates political Islamists, etc. There are a number of issues. I don't think we can really rest it only on Sharia. There are a number of issues that we have witnessed as humans. Human civilization has developed. Colonialism is a huge factor. Political instability in the countries where a lot of Muslims lived, so-called Islamic countries. Many of those countries are secular countries. They're not Islamic countries. Iraq, I don't know what the situation is going to be now, but barring really Saudi and Iran, the majority of countries are secular regimes. World War I, World War II, the other wars